So fentanyl is really bad stuff. It's 50 times stronger than heroin, 100 times stronger than morphine. It's 3 times more addictive than heroin. Basically, a grain of salt and it'll kill you. Right? So what it does when you overdose is it goes into your body, passes the blood-brain barrier, goes to your brainstem, starts short circuits your respiratory drive, and all of a sudden you're breathing about once every 30 seconds. Okay? Then all of a sudden you stop breathing, and then you do a recall, guppy breathe. Looks like a fish out of water trying to catch air. That's your body basically telling your brain telling your body you need to try to breathe, even though you're not breathing anymore. In that time, you are now going into brain death. It takes 4 to 6 minutes. You've already caused brain damage. At this point, your heart will soon stop afterwards. Okay? When I get to come into the picture, is your heart still breathing or is it not? Depends on if I get to do compressions on you or not. Narcan is the drug that everybody is talking about because it reverses this stuff. I'm going to tell you stories where Narcan does not always fix the problem. I've been on a lot of calls where I've given more Narcan than my rates even have, and I never wake the person up. Okay? 46 minutes is basically when you have brain death. I want you to imagine you're somewhere, all of a sudden you witness a friend go down, you decide to call 911. Here's the time frame. You have to get the phone, you got to call 911. It takes about a minute for that whole process to go through, and that's quick. Telling address, where you are, what's going on. Dispatch then sends it to another person. That person is in charge of sending me. There's a time frame that happens there. They then alert me. It takes a little bit for the signal to hit my station. Bell goes off. My protocol, I have 2 minutes to get to the rig. Okay? We're about 4 minutes in. Brain's already dying. Okay? I then have to get in the rig, get there, which can take anywhere from 2 to 10 minutes. Now here in the country, it could take a whole heck of a lot longer than that. At the time I show up, even if I wake you up, your brain has been without oxygen for so long, you might not even be the same person. Okay? So, I'm not really going to go through all this stuff. I'm going to tell you real life stories because I've seen it. And again, it's all a wash. I had to actually ask my friends, they're sitting at my table, remind me of some good stories because it just becomes a blur of how many I go to. So, before we get there, everybody here, young, I was there once, feel bulletproof. All did. I did. I felt bulletproof when I was 16, 17, 18 years old. So in that retrospect, we're going to think of Russian roulette. Everybody knows Russian roulette, right? You have a 6-chamber gun, you throw one in the barrel, you spin it, put the gun to your head, pull the trigger. 1 out of 6, you're going to shoot yourself, kill yourself. The other 5, you're going to get lucky. In today's day and age with drugs, with this recreational street drugs, 7 out of 10 pills have fentanyl in it. That's 70%. 70% of 6 is 4.2. We'll round down. We'll give you the better chance on this. I put 4 bullets in the chamber, and you spin it every time you take a pill. Okay? You got 2 chances that you're not going to kill yourself. You'll put yourself into such a state that we might not be able to get you back. Okay? I want you to remember that when I tell you these stories. Everybody close their eyes because I'm going to tell you, I want you to imagine this. You're at a party, get together, whatever. You go with your boyfriend, your girlfriend, significant other, group of friends. You all go there, everybody starts to drink. Okay? It happens. I know it happens. Everybody starts to get a little loose, no big deal, and you have a friend that comes up and says, I got something. I want you to have one of these. It's no big deal. I took one yesterday. It's fine. You've just spun the chamber, and all of a sudden, this person takes the pill. Okay? Now, this pill was Adderall. At least that's what it was advertised at. Everybody likes Adderall, gives them a little zip. Okay? They've been drinking. This individual wasn't feeling so hot. Their friend decided to take him to the back room, let him lay down for a little bit. Came back in an hour to check on him. Dead. 911's activated. I show up. Don't know how long this person's even been down. Start CPR. I strip them naked, do compressions for 45 minutes. I breathe for them. I push about every drug in the box that I can do to try to pump their heart, get their heart back started. All during this time, the friend, significant other, boyfriend, girlfriend, whoever, is calling the family, trying to squeak out the story of what just happened to this person. 45 minutes is a long time. All of a sudden, parents roll in, and I hear a blood-curdling scream like you wouldn't believe. I get to call time of death. I get to call an ME. Because this person's young and 18 years old, it's not just they go to a funeral home and it's nice and easy. They get to go and get a whole autopsy. That means they get to be split open, weighed, measured, everything to figure out what happened. Now you guys can all open your eyes. Now you guys would probably say, oh, he's just coming up with a story. Nope, girl was 18 years old, Adderall. In today's day and age, what the cartels are doing is, back in the day when there was a lot of prescription opioids, Percocet, Vicodins, everything, they were really easy to get from the doctors. Doctors have started to make that more difficult because they realized that there was an opiate problem. Cartels took advantage of this and started pumping pills that look exactly the same. You cannot tell the difference. They have the same marking, they have the same shape, they have everything. The problem is how the cartels do it is they do not care about you. They put it in a big batch, they mix it all up, and they mix it with all kinds of stuff. I'll tell you another story here in a little bit about that one. Mix it all up, press these pills, you get a bag of 10, you think it's Adderall, right? You're not doing an opiate in your mind, you're doing Adderall. It's okay. Problem is the other, there's 10 pills in there. 3 of them were good. 7 of them are going to kill you. This poor girl at 18 years old, I never got her back at all. This is one of many. I have been on 6 overdoses in one day. I have ran out of Narcan more times than I can count on my rig trying to wake people up. I have been on, let's see, where's some of the others? I had a kid in the back. He wanted to take a Xanax, got a Xanax from his friend. He was at home with his parents. Parents thought he was in the bedroom doing homework. Nope, dead. Got to go do the whole bit. 45 minutes of compressions, try to wake him up. Didn't happen. Time of death, ME, get to tell their mom, dad, what's going on there. I had a woman at a McDonald's. Went into the McDonald's, guess they were having some fun. I don't know what she took. Went in there, worker found her, called us. I gave her so much Narcan that we stripped 3 rigs of Narcan. We were then able to luckily get a heartbeat back on her. Still breathing for her, by the way. Luckily got a heartbeat back. Put her in a medic unit, took her to the hospital. They used about every bit of Narcan they had. They put her on a basic Narcan drip. She died. Whatever mixture of fentanyl was going on there, the hospital, with all the resources in the world, couldn't even reverse that one. If you get lucky and you decide that, okay, you spin the chamber and you partake in these recreational drugs and whatnot, it doesn't kill you. All of a sudden you got the whole other world of addiction out. Again, it's 3 times more addictive than heroin. Okay, heroin lasts for about 6 hours. I've seen heroin more times than I can count to. I've seen all the drugs. Fentanyl lasts 90 minutes. So what's the problem with this? As soon as you come off of it, you start to get the itch. You gotta get your next hit. It always happens. All of a sudden you're going a hit after hit after hit, and you're always chasing that ultimate high because you basically build yourself up and you're trying to get it. And one of these times it's just not going to work. You're going to go too much. I went on one guy in less than 24 hours. I went on him 5 times. I went, overdosed, gave him Narcan, woke him up. Told me he was sleeping. I said, that's amazing that you were sleeping because I was breathing for you while you were sleeping. Because I gave him Narcan, it basically reset his breathing, but it knocked out the effect of the fentanyl. So all of a sudden the itch started to happen. Immediately went back, got another source, overdosed again. 5 times. On the 6th time, he actually succeeded in killing himself because we didn't get there. This happens all the time. And the sad part about it is these aren't old people. These are people your guys' age and into their early 20s all the time. I've seen it It affects people of all ages. But you guys are the young ones that basically bulletproof, spin the chamber, put the gun to your head, see what happens. Now, the other story here about addiction, right? 24-year-old girl, basically she had, from what I got from her, is she had hurt herself, got on pain pills by a doctor, got addicted to them, fixed the problem, got healed, but now she's addicted. All of a sudden, she starts going down that path if she needs to feel that, right? Well, she couldn't get any more, so she started to go to street drugs. So she started partaking in activities with men to have access with drugs. She was 24 years old. Now, the thing that the cartels do is they do not mix this with good stuff. They cut it with anything and everything. This batch that went through my area was cut with laxatives. Laxatives and poisons. Okay? Everybody knows what a laxative is? Makes you go to the bathroom. So this woman's 24. She takes this drug. She passes out. Luckily, she doesn't overdose. She is out cold for 12 hours, and she proceeds to defecate all over herself. When I get there, she is laying on a twin-size bed, and it has turned into a swimming pool of feces. She is covered from head to toe in her own human excrement. The only way I could get her in the back of the rig is I had to put 2 gowns on her, basically burrito the grossness up. And she, as she liked to say, she's like, I don't know what's wrong with me, I can't stop pooping. Now, she got lucky in all this. And you guys are probably sitting there and it's like, wow, that's rock bottom, right? I would turn my life around if I got to that point. 3 months later, I found her dead. It gets a hold of you and it doesn't let go. Russian roulette. You got 4 chambers filled with a bullet. You just spun it. You're going to put it to your head. As soon as you put that in your mouth, and you're going to pull the trigger. And I really, really hope you catch an empty one. So now we'll go through all this stuff. I can tell you more. I got a million of these stories. Sometimes I wake them up. Sometimes I don't. A few grains of salt. Death. I'm not kidding. It's that little. There is the stories of people cutting pills, right? I've been there. Friends are in the background. We all took the same thing. What happened? They got the bad one. They pulled the trigger and the bullet was in the chamber on that one. You can't taste it. It's senseless. Death comes fast. It's coming after us. 7 out of 10 pills. If you don't know where it came from, if it was not bought by you or your mom or dad or given to you by a doctor out of a prescribed pill bottle, do not take it. They are putting this stuff in everything. It used to just be Vicodins. They're smart. They're going after the drug of choice for kids. Adderall, Xanax, all this stuff. Things that's like, well, I don't take opiates. They're going to find it, they're going to mix it, and they're going to sell it. Whatever recreational drug is the hot one on the market today, they are going to put fentanyl in it because it is super cheap to put together, and it will kill you. And sometimes I'll get there in time to bring you back, and hopefully you're talking at the end of it. Let's see. Multiple doses, sometimes it doesn't even work. Narcan, if you have access to it, and you see somebody go down, make sure you give it to somebody if you can. I've been to a party where this guy got super lucky. He was 17, went to a party, everybody was there, drinking, took a pill. He went down right in the middle of the party. What happens, right? What happens when all of a sudden bad stuff starts to happen when everybody that's there underage partaking in activities that they shouldn't be? 90% of those people, pow, they're gone. They're out the door. They weren't your friends. They left. Luckily, this one guy had one person call 911 right before they jammed out the door. I walked in, it was a ghost town in there. You could tell it was a party. Hear about the secretary music in the background. Everybody left them. Luckily, one person called. He showed up, gave him Narcan, woke him up. Want to know the first thing he told me? I'm fine. I just was feeling really tired and fell asleep. Face down in the middle of a party. Interesting. That's 9 times out of 10 when I wake someone up and they can still talk to me, they always just say they were sleeping. It's a sleep that will get you and you will never wake up. And when all of a sudden your family comes, you're young, and I deal with an old person who has intonus or is on pills for like cardiac or whatnot, and they died. It's tragic. I do CPR. All of a sudden I call time of death. ME basically says, let them go to a funeral home. Let them process this death. Okay? When someone your age dies, it doesn't stop there. You're going. But all of a sudden your family gets to keep dealing with it. Your family does not get to take you to a funeral home and start to process this tragic event. Because they got to figure out why you died. And they take you apart like a Lego. They take everything out of you. Your brain, heart, your lungs, blood. They are testing everything because they, even though they probably know, they got to go through the whole process. And then they put you all back together. And then they say, here, mom and dad, now you guys get to grieve and put your son or daughter in the ground. Just remember, don't even spin the chamber. It is not worth it. Whatever fun you want to have, go find some other fun. Is that the fentanyl is going to win every time. And if the drugs, Xanax, Adderall, if you guys all of a sudden pick a different drug of choice to recreate on, I'm going to tell you right now, the cartels will start making it for that. I do not care what the drug of choice is. The cartel will find a way to put fentanyl in that, and you'll be like, it wasn't on the list at the presentation. I'm good. No, you're not. You're never. Yep. That's all I got. Thank you.